And to help your audience with this moment in time, I want everyone to know, both in the trafficking house and at the university, every little one had an angel. And I saw two kinds of angels. I'm going to move Gracie right now so she doesn't hit the mic again. So there are two kinds of angels. I would see the warrior angels. They're fierce male angels. Most of them were 7 or 8 feet tall. Although since then I've seen some that are actually bigger than planet Earth. But they're dressed in Roman garb, white clothing, gold or silver trim, big swords, big spears. The mothering angels were the female angels, and every child had a female mothering angel. And especially when times were painful, the mothering angels would, the little girl in me would call them the shh, shh angels, as in they're there. They were very soothing. And I do believe there was healing in their hands so they could take some of that physical pain away. And I'm fully convinced to this day that those are the same types of angels that were with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, because scripture tells us he could have called a legion. That's the host of heaven that I've seen and heard. That's the warrior angels. And he didn't call a legion, and yet he was
Yeah.
soothed. So I believe it's these mothering angels. So every child had one. So I want people to know that. And I also want to tell people, I'll get back to your question, how can this be? 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago now, RFK Jr. let us all know that whenever organs are harvested above ground in hospitals, it is done while the person is still alive with no anesthesia, because they learned underground that if they give someone anesthesia, the organs are not good. And if they take the organs out of someone after they've died, the organs are not good. And so anyone who has on their driver's license that they can take their organs, it helps determine the unhealth care that will be performed on the person at the end of life. And also the organs are harvested, and this is from RFK Jr., not me. The organs are harvested while the person is still alive with no anesthesia so that they can be used. So these things happen whenever I was little, and that's what it's like underneath the laboratory, as a top picture, a bottom line.
Wow. Again, we can't even begin to wrap our heads around the darkness of what's really happening. Because the other thing too, that when you were talking earlier, that I was thinking of, I'm like, we have children and people go missing all the time, and
That's
they're
right.
never found. I
That's
mean,
right.
just thousands and thousands of people. So I'll have to look up the RFK Jr. thing. I had not heard that. Um, there's so many things going on right now, beyond even our conversation in the world. And it's like, you can feel it's, to me, it feels like you can feel the puzzle pieces kind of being slowly snapped into place, but that slow is getting faster
I say
for
that all the time, Kyle. I
yeah,
do.
for
Puzzle
everything in
pieces. Yes.
Revelation. It's I know every generation before us has claimed that they're living in the end times, but holy mackerel. Man, I mean, it's like we're seeing things that no generation obviously has ever seen before, I feel like. The other thing too is from a technological standpoint, I've said this several times on the show. All the things we've talked about today, and there's more things we haven't talked about today that are happening right now. How can we continue this hockey stick without God finally saying, Tower of Babel, there's no way if I don't intervene, then you guys, there's not going to be anybody left, much to Christ's, saying of what he said. If I didn't cut the time short for the sake of the elect, there would be nobody left. And I kind of feel like there's an element of that with the technological side is our kind of modern day Tower of Babel. And it has its pros and cons. It can be used for great good, or it can be used for tremendous evil.